And on the count of three, I need everyone under the sound of my voice to say yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. We need to get in the habit of saying yes. Yes to opportunities. Yes to each other. Yes to collaboration. Yes, 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 yes so much you don't even know what no sounds like anymore. No turns to yes. I'm so excited to be here. This is our 5th anniversary of the Can Diversity Collective's Inkwell Beach. I need a round of applause for 5 years. This is 5 years of disruption. We have disrupted what the Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity looks like. Seeing what it looks like in here today, Cannes Lions will never, ever, 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 never be the same. So I'm so excited to have you guys with us today. This is the last panel of the day. Shout out for the last panel of the day. This is our day of disruption, and I am honored to have with me the one and only Issa Rae. Shout out to Issa. And a very special guest, and we're going to tell you who she is. Monique Francis. Just give her a round of applause right now. Loud, 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 loud. Because she's a critical part of this conversation, too. But we're going to end our day of disruption with more disruption. And you're going to share everything that you have done that's been disruptive to this world, the power in it. But I'm going to start with a little story, because we had a discovery. So everyone knows the first time I came to Cannes was in 2017. I was so excited and inspired. Then in 2018, I brought 5 young people, and that was the beginning. But at that end of that year of the experience here at Cannes, there's a restaurant about how far down? You know the story, because she said she don't remember nobody.
Yes, I do. I remember it. No, but keep telling your story.
So we were at a restaurant. Everybody was kind of gone, and Issa was eating, and then she was leaving. It was your first time speaking at Cannes Lions. And I said, hello, Issa. I'm going to come talk to you. And she says, hi, very kind, beautiful, sweet. I said, I know you were speaking. How was the room? Were there any black people? Were there a lot of black people? And you said what?
Nah.
Literally, it's like, nah. And I said, okay, got it. I'm going to make sure that the next year I have a beach and more of us will be there. And 5 years later, what?
You did that.
The audience is very different from the audience that you had an opportunity to speak on at the Palais. This is for you. So you have a different experience. You have for us, by us to have a conversation with. You're disruptive, we're disruptive, and so we're just glad to have you here and to give you a different experience. So please, shout Issa out, you guys.
Shout you out. Thank you. It's incredible that you set an intention in passing and executed it. We were just having a conversation, Levy and I, about being here in the early years and seeing it exponentially grow, and to see so many of us here is just spectacular. We are in these spaces. We will continue to be in these spaces, and I'm honored to be here in front of you all.
Thank you, thank you. So our topic of today has been really the theme, Day of Disruption. And our broader theme of this festival for us, the Can Diversity Collective, is expect the unexpected, moving from the woe is me of D&I to the wow is me of D&I, right? And what we do when we move from the victim mentality to the I am empowered, I'm strong, I can do the damn thing whenever, wherever I want to do it. Right. And we've seen you sort of do the damn thing wherever and whenever you want. So in my mind, you are a disruptor. Do you believe in this disruptive energy spirit? Do you think you're a disruptor?
I definitely think that I came in the industry untraditionally in a way that disrupted previous models, for sure. I was always told and believed that I had to, and tried to write a script, a spec script to get in and to meet these specific people or to start in a writer's room. And I tried every avenue to do that, but it just didn't work for me, and the path wasn't clear. It's hard, as we all know, to break into industries where there are these specific protocols in place. And so for me, it came down to creating a web series on YouTube, which wasn't a respected platform for scripted content at the time. And I remember asking a friend, like, hey, can you help me, like, get some sponsors here? I don't have any money to keep making this. And she was just like, girl, sponsors aren't on that right now. They're not looking at content online. You have to do it the traditional way. And so that was disheartening to hear, but I kept on. It's all I knew. It's the only access point that I had, so I kept on creating it. And then ultimately those opportunities did come. And if I hadn't gone through that door that I essentially made for myself, then I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So in that sense, I definitely think that I disrupted a traditional model, and I hope that there's a blueprint moving forward for others to do the same thing.
So this blueprint that has turned out to be extremely successful for you. I know there are a lot of creators in the audience right now, because this is the Advertising Marketing Creative Festival, may not have been able to find sort of that energy and spirit, but what has been like that motivating factor for you that just makes you a disruptor? What does that look like and feel like for you?
It looks like I don't like waiting on people. I don't like being told no. I don't like when people find the ways that you can't do something. Like, I don't want to be told all the ways that something can't happen. That actually just fuels something in me. And I just have I don't know, there's something in me that loves to prove people wrong. And although it's like silent, I don't like to brag, I don't like to do any of those things, but the moment that I feel doubted is like a slight to me. And it's just like, oh, okay, you'll see. And that you'll see is a promise to myself that motivates me daily. And so if I have to find an alternate pathway to make something happen, then it's worth it. The petty spirit in me is just motivated to make it work.
We might have twin brains, because I keep, being told no all the time. I think, even if I thought to take the traditional route of, building a black beach at Cannes Lions, they would have said no, right? So I think in this disruptive spirit, and thank you for being an inspiration, just to say, if you tell me no, I'm going to double down on it. I'm going to just keep going.
Absolutely. Right? I mean, that's sometimes necessary, and it also always comes down to like a belief of self too, because it is the easier path is to just be like, all right, no, let me just figure something else out, and let me just bounce back off of this. But you just have to have, I guess, a resoluteness and a stubbornness, to be honest. My mom always said I was hard-headed, and I prove her right every day.
Shout out to the hard-headed women in the world, right? Absolutely. So are there people around you, like, do you have hard-head co-conspirators, folks who are just like, your hard-head board of directors, or just like, let's go, do it?
I definitely have hard-headed people around me. I have extremely smart people around me. I love to be debated. I think it's so important to have those people who have their own opinions, and who, when you can get too idealistic in some ways, can just bring you back down. And that's different from a no to me. People who are questioning, who are saying, will this work? What about this? She's one of those people. I have a publicist in the front who's been one of those people. Sometimes Vanessa, I call her my Toby from The Office, because every single time I have a super exciting idea, she's the one to be like, well, actually, and I'll be like, damn, can you just believe? But you need those people in your life. So thanks, girl. Thanks for being Toby. But I try to purposely surround myself with, obviously people who are smarter than me, who are stronger in areas that I'm not, and whose wisdom that I value.
I love that. And there are like so many young people in the audience that look to you as a guide, that look to you as a creative spirit, because I think the idea of coming up with a way of storytelling, and I think some of the creative work that you did in telling authentically your story really inspires others to do the same. What was so important about being authentically you versus telling the story of someone else? Like, was it from your voice? Like, give us that, what happened that made you sort of feel like it was so important for you to tell that story versus creating someone else's?
I mean, I think so many stories start with an examination of self, and for me, that is kind of what sparked things. It started from what I was not seeing, what I wanted to see, and then a realization that I could make what I wanted to see. And then once that dawned on me, then it was, well, what story do I want to tell? And like, I know my surroundings. They always say, write what you know. And during that time when I, was complaining about what I wasn't seeing, I was kind of understanding who I was. It was my early 20s. And, I was just out in the world experiencing things. And I felt this discomfort that I wanted to get off my chest. And it came from being inspired by shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld, and also feeling like there wasn't like the black version of that. And, I tell this story all the time, but what lit a fire under me was literally someone asking, where's this specific archetype? Where's the quirky black girl? And I was like, oh, quirky black girl, somebody's gonna steal my shit. Awkward black girl, I have to do this now. Like, they're literally asking for it, even though it's, this one specific journalist, who wrote an article, it still felt like somebody else is gonna see this and stop making the excuses that I've been making in this entire time. So that lit a fire in me to just take on that role. And yeah, I would say, like, I didn't even want to cast myself initially. I wanted to cast a specific friend who was in law school. But she was just like, yeah, girl, I'm in law school. I can't do it. And so I was just like, okay, if I'm going to get this done, I know who this is and I can be in it. And, obviously that ended up changing my life.
Life-changing decisions because someone else said no, but you said yes to yourself to do that, right?
Yes, by default, by force.
By default. It always works that way. You talk about some of you putting other people on and wanting to bring in your friends and stand in the gap and fill in the gap for you. But, one of the things that has inspired me about you is your, I guess, selflessness, is that the right word, where you're creating opportunities for other people who traditionally don't have that opportunity, but to be able to give them the experience to work on projects that you have done that they traditionally may not have. So it's building their resume. So now that people can say, and then I'll let you talk more about it because I'm like now saying, and now you can do that. They don't have to live a I woulda, coulda, shoulda if I had a chance. You have knocked that out of their list of barriers. Tell me why it was important for you to build your creative team. If somebody comes on a set of yours, what will they see? What does that look like? So people know what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be at least 60 to 70% diverse, and that doesn't mean just white women. Sometimes people are like, diversity, all white women, and it's like, no, you still have a ways to go. But it just honestly comes from the community that I've been surrounded with. And, like, it doesn't, when people are with you from the beginning and they prove themselves alongside you, then you want them to succeed with you. And that's where that comes from. It was an intentional effort in that you walk into some of these spaces and you see where we're not similar to you. You're like, oh, why aren't there more of us? I know that there are more of us here, and I know that there are so many talented people that I work with. So you want something in you wants to fill that void because you don't want to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone in these spaces. Some people do, but they're not here. But there are some people.
They're alone.
I think they're alone somewhere thriving by themselves. But I think most of us like to see us succeed in these spaces and to be around each other. And I love witnessing people I think are talented succeed. And if it's, and I remember what it was like to be like, oh, I want this chance. If somebody would just give me a chance, I know I would prove myself and I know that I would deliver. And so I recognize that in other people where it's like, okay, here's your chance and kill it. And most of the time they do. And when they don't, then it's their lesson to learn for the next opportunity.
We just got some theme or music. I don't know what that was. So when you say some of them who don't, what happens with the ones that don't?
You're messy.
I'm petty. My team members know she's so petty. Like, okay.
The ones that don't, I don't like give up on people. So, there's still conversations. It's not. I also don't believe in like you ruined it for all of us, because it doesn't have to be that way. So, I mean, they're out there still working. Some of them have gotten second chances.
But not second chances with you. Like,
No, I've given people second chances for sure, but not everybody gets a second chance. Sometimes people really just crumble under pressure in a way that they have to figure out themselves. But I don't carry that guilt with me, and I don't carry their issues. It just didn't work out, and it's not that serious. Some things are life and death, but some things are absolutely not. So I think recognizing like, oh, okay, this didn't work out this time. This opportunity wasn't for you. I still like you, and I know I still think you're talented. So either you can figure it out here, or you can figure it out somewhere else.
But the door is right here
Oh my
go.
gosh.
So I know the other thing. I mean, everybody's just inspired by the next steps, and there's such a pathway down this disruptive lane, right? Where you see the next step of disruption for you? Like, what are you going to do next? We know there's this beautiful logo up called, for Hooray. Tell us about Hooray and how is Hooray disrupting the world right now?
So Hooray is our media company that officially formed in 2020. It was a transition from my production company, Issa Productions, and it was born out of an effort to not just brand everything with my name. I want something that's going to live on past me and past what I aspire to do. And in some ways, I know that just having my name limits what we can do and what people think that we can do. So Hooray was born out of a celebration of us, celebration of what we do culturally, and just meant to be an umbrella for all the divisions that we have internally. So for those of you who don't know, we have Hooray Film and Television, which is what you see on TV or on the big screens. And that consists of our film and TV side. Then we have Radio, which is our audio everywhere company, which consists of a music label. We have podcasting. We have a music supervision company where we work across shows. And then we have Color Creative, which is a talent management company that initially started to represent up-and-coming creators, people below the line like writers, showrunners, and the like, that now has expanded into talent representation. And so that consists of the umbrella company of Hooray. And now we have, can I say it now, that we have added a new element on the marketing side, which is why this lovely woman is up here. Hooray Marketing, which we're calling Fête, which is an extension of the celebration, a French word for party. And so that's what we like to do here too. We do events and the like. So Fête Marketing is, I'll let her tell it.
Sure, so
Wait. You can't, I'm the moderator.
My bad. You got it.
Let me do
We were
this.
both wearing yellow, so I was like, am I her?
Yeah, right. We're twinning this ray of sunshine.
I see what you did.
Have a play on words. Okay, so before you have a lot going on in that. It was almost like I got 10 jobs, man. My company, we've got this, we do this. We're the one-stop shop. You're at an advertising, marketing, creative festival where we have people, I think, that will fit key elements into your one, how can this festival benefit you and what you're doing? And then we're definitely coming to you next morning, but.
I mean, this festival has been benefiting what I'm doing and what I intend to do. I'm meeting so many of the great storytellers that some of whom have helped to amplify missions that I have, and that's important to me. A lot of the brand partnerships that I take on have to be aligned with things that I'm already doing or things that I genuinely believe in. I say that I don't like to sell things. I don't like to feel like I'm selling people things. I don't like to be oversaturated. I'm not going to sign on to every opportunity that comes my way. And it really is important that, one, they fit within this ecosystem. And I think about, how it also elevates the other parts of what I'm trying to work on. Even thinking about, I was just meeting with Amex this morning, and I love that so much of the work that they do with small businesses and that I do with them has allowed me to put a spotlight on them, and I'm actually seeing how so many of those opportunities through their programs have changed those business owners' lives, and so many of them have been within my own community, and I love that. That's mission driven, and I'm able to use the resources there to support that, and even an opportunity like Shipped, like that has been such an. Okay, y'all here, y'all repped, y'all. This seemed to be your panel and you came. But even that was great just because in addition to like them tapping into just who I am as a person, they also employed one of the directors that we work with and continue to employ him for the rest of their campaigns. And they're not doing it because of me. He got that on his own because he's super talented, but that was also amazing, in addition to be able to work with my friends during that campaign. So, and then they got paid off of it. So that's never bad either. So those kind of things, like I'm just always looking at how others can benefit from those relationships in addition to the bag.
So this disruptive energy keeps coming in, and you just want to just continue to change that market. And disruptive programming, disruptive people, is that what you look for others, or do you want to be the only disruptive one in the fray?
No, I fuck with disruptors. I think that's on theme for me. I want people who.
Did you say I fuck with disruptors?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the theme. I fuck with disruptors. Everybody, we take that out. Okay,
yes.
Let's go.
Because I love people who take risks.
Yeah.
And I think even something as like, it's not small, but there's some people who have left their jobs to come and work for this startup company, you know, and that says a lot too. That one, it shows that you're really, and I should say left like very steady, you know, corporate jobs or whatever it is to come work for us and come work with us, and that to me says a lot about like your own passion and the risks that you're willing to take, and I don't take that lightly either. So part of you has to have a disruptive spirit. Also, like I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and there's a kind of I see you type vibe that we share where we can build together. So yes, I generally seek disruptors.
I love that. And now we can talk about Monique as a disruptor. Pull us in. So this is a kind of a personal story with Monique. I got personal stories with everybody on the stage, right? So in 2019, Monique was one of the CCDC ambassadors. Definitely. So it's always those full circle moments, and we talk about when you bring very talented people into the fray, and you bring very talented people to connect with others. I don't know how you guys connected, but you know, I'm always like, and our people are the best people ever. So any talent that we bring are the bomb, and they connect with other bomb people. And really it's because of Monique that she thought about her experience at Cannes with the CCDC ambassadors and Inkwell Beach that she brought you to us. So I'm so grateful to you, Monique, and I just wanted to say that and give you just like all the love because you believe in what we do here, and you wanted to bring this great partner to the table with Issa. So we fucks with you. No.
I fuck with you too. Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible experience just being able to come to Cannes in the first place and recognizing the immense power and influence that is held along this beach over the course of this week, and can be very easy to feel like a very, small little speck of dust amongst like all of these incredible business leaders and thinkers and marketers. And so being able to be a part of that program and having a safe place to come and learn, and a group of people that were going through that with me, it was just an incredible experience. And it's great to see a lot of those people back, and being able to connect in this way, and in my my next job, that there's incredible value here. And so happy to be here.
So tell us about the experience in working with Hooray and your role and what you do with the company.
Sure. So came in as head of marketing, overseeing marketing across all the verticals that Issa mentioned. We have a lot going on, and then being able to launch this new marketing vertical that we've named FET with the intention of bringing real strategic marketing to what we're doing on the brand side, to our partnerships. So Hooray, being such an incredible brand already, had a number of brand partnerships, done great work with brands, but we recognize that we could do more. We could have more meaningful, long-lasting, and strategic partnerships by really being able to have that marketing expertise and speak the same language of marketers and understand for our brands what their goals are, what their needs are. And so the partnerships that we're developing are not only valuable to us, but also valuable to those brands as well. And then, taking money off of the table, being able to look at those partnerships and think, are they, if money aside, what are we actually getting out of this? Are these brands aligned from a mission and vision and value standpoint? Are we going to create something with them or through them that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do? And so with FET, really being able to leverage the creativity, the access, the influence, and our audience that we understand so well, bringing that thinking to those brand partnerships. And then also being able to scale rather than immediately hiring a bunch of people. We recognize there are so many great creative shops, media agencies, social agencies, et cetera, that are Black owned and led, minority owned and led, that we could actually work together and scale what we're able to do. And so through the incredible opportunities that come in our door because we're led by Issa, we're able to bring those and help scale those other businesses too. So as much as we're here with an announcement, I would also say an invitation. We want to work with people who are doing this great work and want to know about you, and so we can find ways to work together.
Amazing. Are you guys ready for question and answer? Are you willing to take some questions from the audience?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you have an opportunity to ask Issa and Monique questions. He's going to hold the mic. So, yeah. He's one of our scholars. Oh, that's very cool.
Hello, Issa.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mateus. I'm from Brazil. And first of all, I need to say my girlfriend is a huge fan of you. And I need to say that because she will kill me if I don't say.
Tell her thank you.
And my question is to give a advice to me and my friends from Brazil. We are creative too, to write good stories like you.
What was the last part? To do?
How to write good stories.
Oh, write good stories like me. Thank you. Put a compliment in there. Thank you. I mean, you're working with your friends, and I hope that you're clearly delineating roles, because working with your friends can be tricky. I did the same thing and have no regrets. But I think making sure that you guys are continuing to build together and work towards each other's missions. It can be challenging if you're both directors, if you're even both writers. But if you are both writers, making sure that you're feeding each other and collaborating with each other, but just finding your respective roles and continuing to keep each other in mind with every opportunity that comes your way. Literally, mine started with just telling stories and bringing people on board who were looking for opportunities for work and being able to showcase that, and then of course continuing to build together. So I think you're already on the right track and doing the same as long as y'all are making the work, and also very much leaning on your community to share your work, because they're going to tell you if they're not sharing it, then they don't think it's good. And I learned that the hard way.
Hello, Issa, my fellow Capricorn sister.
Let's go.
I believe in taking an adamant approach to opportunity and always being ready. So how do you continue to stay ready so you don't have to keep getting ready for these opportunities that come to you?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe always, preparation meets opportunity. I mean, that's just a mantra to live by. And I have had moments where I've let things slip by because I wasn't prepared. So I always have the next idea loaded. I'm a frequent journaler. Like, and if it's not every day, it's every other day, where I'm constantly writing down some of the missions that I have, some of the ideas that I want to implement, so that if I'm ever put in a position where someone asks me who has the money or who has the distribution platform or who has whatever the opportunity is, I can engage with them. But like I'm constantly bringing those up in my journal, and it can kind of feel like a loop. But when I have it stored, then it's just there, and I have something to talk about. So I hope that helps.
Can I share an observation?
Yes, please.
So one thing I've noticed, I mean, yes, you were incredibly prepared, and for what surprised me too, from just coming from a marketing perspective, and that hasn't been your career this whole time, is how engaged you were and how you got it. And I see that you are so willing to ask questions and curious and find information, and you are with that notebook writing things down. And I think that's at least from where I sit, seems to be very much a part of your recipe for success, that you are so engaged in whatever room that you're in and able to absorb that information and use it.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Issa. Keith White from Afro Animation.
Hello.
From your YouTube series, what did you use? Was it the audience that you built, the demographics that you built? Was it the number of clicks that you were able to use in your next pitch to take your brand to the next level?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was thinking this morning how super thirsty for brand support I was when I first started out. Because again, you're just making this out of my own pocket, out of my friend's own pocket, like just struggling to create what is ultimately getting you the attention that you need to take it to the next step. But our numbers just weren't, like, people call me a YouTube star, and I'm like, no, we are not at all. Like, I know what YouTube stars look like. We were a very niche group, and we had a limited audience, but it was a very, very targeted audience. It was a very specific audience. And once I learned that, like, how to tell the story of those numbers, and then it became about press opportunities. And yeah, I'll shout Vanessa out again. I found that so much of my story had to come through, like, the press, the looks that I was getting, and that's what brought people on, of just like, oh, other people are paying attention to her. I think so often we focus on the numbers, but so much of it is just the story of the come up, the story of the series and the other people around it, and that's what gets people on board. Because I didn't have those millions and millions of views at the time. So it really took like an article in Rolling Stone, which ultimately got Pharrell's attention, which then got Shonda's attention, and all those things were all because of the press that was put out about the show and the innovation behind the series.
Hi. Oh, good afternoon, good evening, because it's 6 o'clock. My name is Abby Lynn Gonzalez. I'm a Dillard University student. And my question is actually for the both of you guys, and even Miss Adrian, if you could answer as well. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to create a franchise such as Hooray, in regards to all the different things that you have, and just making sure that everything is together and planned out a specific way that has a great success in the end?
I'll give a short answer so they can answer, but it's intention. It comes down to just being certain about what you want to build, because you also have to want it, because what you're building comes with so many people, and sometimes they don't get along, and I don't like that. So that's what I'll say, intention. Make sure that you want it and that you're willing to work every day at it.
Yeah, I would say along with that, and kind of similarly, a vision really helps you stay focused. And so with that, you can bring the right people around you that share that vision. And I think your strategy can change, like where different sides of the industry or products or whatever it is you're looking to create, that could evolve and change. But I think what helps is still having an idea of where you want to go, because then you can rally people around and help you do that, because it's not something that you can really do by yourself.
And I would say everything they said, vision, passion, and disruptors around you, right? That disruptive energy. You like how I pull disruptors back into the theme?
What's the theme of this again?
I think it's about disruptors, you know. So fire round, like a quick fire. Like, tell us about Barbie. I guess that's not. I saw you in a beautiful ad. There's this beautiful black Barbie. I was like, you want to tell me about the Barbie?
Yes, Barbie is coming out July 21st. I play.
Is she not the most perfect model for
Oh
a
my
beautiful
gosh. Thank
So
you
beautiful.
for that. Yeah, I'm excited. My character is president of Barbie Land, so that was a treat.
We have a black Barbie, like our first black president Barbie. Wikis.
And the doll is available if y'all want to cop. I don't really care if y'all cop the doll. It's dope if you do. But yeah, it comes out July 21st. I'm super excited to be a part of it. Greta Gerwig directed, Margot Robbie produced, and we out here.
Was it a diverse crew?
It was a very diverse crew. It was extremely diverse. We shot it in London, and they were super intentional. They had so many also people whose first time it was being on set, whether as PA or craft services, and employed certain business trucks. So it was, I say it over and over again, but it was one of the best sets I've ever been on.
Do you get to bring some of your crew with you? You're like, I'm not going to work if you don't have so-and-so on the crew, or do you do that? Are you?
Like on a personal side or a business side?
So a business side, like if you're like, you go to a set and you're invited to the table, and you say, I really think you need more of X.
1,000%. Yeah, that came from the first time I ever worked with a brand, and then, it is about diversity, but then everybody behind the camera was literally like white men. I was like, what are y'all? So I'm just the token in front of the camera, and y'all are lying behind the camera? That's crazy. And so I was able to tell one of the brands specifically, like, I really want to mandate this. I don't want to be a part of this unless you guys have at least this. And they listened. And what I respect about that brand in particular is that they continue to do that beyond me because of, their CMO who recognized the issue. And so I found in my power that I could definitely demand, what I want to see behind the camera.
So you disrupted the set. You really did.
Oh my God.
I'm all about this.
I'm never gonna say
thing.
this word again.
And Monique, maybe you can talk about you. So who are some of your favorite disruptors? We'll just go there.
Well, of course, Issa. I would also add,
And why? Tell us.
Before even working here, what Issa had done in the world of entertainment allowed me to feel really seen for the first time in the content that I was watching. Like as someone who was early career, like entering this kind of uncertain world after college and going through what you go through. Insecure in a big way felt like I could relate to it. And even prior to that with Awkward Black Girl, it was like, whoa, how do you know my life, like what I'm dealing with? And so I think through that, and what I think is actually the most disruptive is what you touched on earlier, which is how you really advocate for people. I've seen her do it for me. That's why I'm on the stage. She asked me to join her on with this panel. Seen her do that over and over again with other creators, really putting her team in places to not only have that chance, but to succeed. And I think that that's not only incredibly admirable, it was what was so appealing to me about working at Hooray and leaving. I was in a place where I was like, I'm comfortable. And when this opportunity came up, it was like, this is the only thing that I would leave right now to go take, because it was such a great great opportunity and at a company where I felt like I could make a difference and do something that was aligned with my interests and skill set, and knew that I would have an opportunity to grow, and that I wouldn't be limited by that at all.
All right. It's not me. Issa, some of your favorite disruptors.
Some of my favorite disruptors, I'm hungry right now, so some of my favorite disruptors are just honestly food-based, people who are tapping into ways to, especially in, where I live in LA, and there's a dire homeless crisis, and there are people who are finding ways to feed unhoused people. They're finding ways also to disrupt leasing models to house unhoused people, and so these are very specific community-driven causes, but outside of the entertainment industry, those are causes that I care about and want to seek to disrupt on my own. You stood up to take this picture, okay?
Block the whole back row. She's
but yeah, though I wish I could name specifically some of these organizations, but they're more that I read about. But yeah, honestly, everyone here, you for your constant use of the word disrupting. I can't not shout you out.
I love it. Thank you. She's waving at you. I don't know if she wanted to say hello. Now she's shy, but she was giving a big old disruptive wave. So I was like, let me shout her out or something. Well, Issa, Monique, thank you so much. This has been the most perfect way to end this day of disruption. I love you both. Thank you. I'm super grateful for you.
Thank you so much
here.
for having us. Thank you guys for listening.
You guys, please come back tomorrow. It will be day 4 of the Can Diversity Collective's Equal Beach 5th year anniversary. It's all about partnerships tomorrow. So please come join us again. And thank you so much and have an amazing night.